Big fan.
Moving on to something a little more serious now, and an Australian woman has died on the operating table in Moscow while undergoing a stem cell transplant unavailable here at home. So why are Aussies being driven overseas for medical treatments?
Kelly Van Meurs hoped a stem cell transplant would see her running half marathons again. The Brisbane mum of two once ran 20 Ks a week, but just over a year ago she was diagnosed with stiff person syndrome, an autoimmune disease that affects 1 in a million people and has no cure. In chronic pain with muscles so seized up it was almost impossible to move, Kelly made a desperate decision, travelling to Moscow for a stem cell transplant.
We don't have it widely available in Australia. Australia, particularly in neurology, is fairly conservative, and these things do take time to filter through.
But tragically, Kelly died of a heart attack on the operating table. Her sad case has prompted warnings about the dangers of a $100 billion global medical tourism industry, which is growing at a rate of more than 20% each year. Australians can leave our shores for stem cell treatment in a number of countries, including Thailand, India, China, the Bahamas, and of course Russia.
There are many risks and issues associated with travelling overseas for these types of therapies. There's a safety and efficacy issue.
The doctor who operated on Kelly had reportedly carried out the same procedure on more than 270 people before her without a death.
We need more detail about the protocols, the patients who are actually being treated, and the stage of the condition they're at.
But this will all come too late for Kelly and a family mourning a mum that will never come home.
Christy Cruz is Kelly's friend and also had the same procedure in Moscow herself last September. Christy, first of all, thank you for joining us, given the circumstances. How are you going?
It's been a devastating week. Kelly was a very close friend of mine. It was a big shock to everyone, and I know that everyone on the ground in Moscow is devastated as well.
And Christy, having had the transplant yourself, do you mind sharing with us why you had to have the transplant and how it's worked for you?
The transplant halts your multiple sclerosis, and it was something that I was very keen to do. As a nurse, I'd researched it and I knew that this procedure worked, but it's only available in very limited trials in Australia, and I did not fit their criteria, so I had to go overseas if I was going to be treated.
A lot of people have come out today saying that there are serious risks to do with stem cell tourism. What would you say about it?
I think it's really sad that some people in the media are jumping on Kelly's death as an opportunity to bash stem cell treatments. And I also think that HSCT shouldn't be commingled with these other stem cell transplants or treatments that are done overseas in places like the Caribbean or Thailand. This is a very well-researched and commonly performed procedure. It's been done for cancer for over 50 years, and it definitely is in no way comparable to injectable stem cells that are commonly associated with stem cell tourism.
How frustrating is it, though, that these treatments aren't available here in Australia?
Oh, it's extremely frustrating. Leaving our families is very tough. There's a massive financial debt associated with going overseas. I'm fighting with the Australian government right now to access my superannuation to pay off my remaining debt from my own transplant. You know, we shouldn't have to be doing this. I have come off potentially having to have a drug that costs the Australian government $55,000 a year. So over the long term, I'm saving nearly $1 million from the healthcare system. Yet I have to go overseas and spend $50,000 of my own money for treatment. There's something wrong with the picture here.
Christy, thank you so much for sharing your story and helping us go beyond the headlines tonight. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more after the break.